Hey, what do you think of my truck?
It's paint.
It's what?
It's nice.
You like it?
I do.
What about the rust? Do you see the rust on it?
There's a hole in Daddy's truck.
We're going to get some tape.
Need some tape.
You want a piece?
I need one. To fix Rusty's truck.
Fix Rusty's truck. Okay, go put it on there. Be careful.
Paint.
You gonna fix it for me? Oh yeah, I think you need. Do you need some more?
Be careful with your fingers.
Dad, I fixed it.
Oh, thank you.
Good job.
And then I need some more.
I think the Trevi's Customs is alive and well in this one right there.
She's ready.
She's ready. She already
Watch your
knows.
fingers so you don't cut up. Great job.
That's a nice fix. Thank you.
And that one too.
Okay, go ahead.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's better.
And that one too.
Oh yeah. Let's do that one. Go down lower. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Good 50%
You
over.
did it.
nice.
Then I need some more.
Oh wow.
And now I need some more.
Good job, Kristen.
Lower. Put it.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah.
I fixed it.
Oh yeah. Great job.
Did you fix Daddy's hole?
But there's one more. There's one more leak.
There's one more leak.
Uh-huh. There's one more.
Okay, there you go.
And now it's the last one.
I'm gonna put it really low.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
And there's one more leak. Stop!
I'm sorry. You did a good job. You did a good job. You did a good job.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Nice fix.
Patchwork.
Good fix. There. Good job.
I think you finally did it.
Yeah.
Did you do
Fixed
it?
I did it.
Thank you.
Oh, good job.
What'd you do?
I fixed it up there.
Good job.
I fixed it. Now go in there, Daddy.
You want to sit in it?
You want to sit in the new truck?
Something stinks.
It's that truck. It's the old truck.
Stinks in there, huh?
Guys, so as you've seen, that was my daughter Carson. She is almost 3 years old, and she likes being around me and hanging out in the shop and doing a bunch of stuff like that. So that was kind of hilarious that she saw the rust and she wanted to fix it with tape. So we got her some tape, and I mean that's honestly like not a bad fix for a 2-year-old. I mean, so anyhow, one of the goals for today is I kind of want to go over the truck, go over some of the options of as far as engines and stuff. Is I want to get the tailgate bolted up so it actually looks more so like a truck, and then I want to swap these white doors for these doors that are actually in the bed of it, which are the original doors. So you can see they kind of have that same like faded green slash this maroon whatever primer. It's kind of like, this is like super old school primer, but yeah, I want to do that, and then obviously make a little bit more room in the shop. We got a lot of things in here, and part of that is going to be cleaning up this area right here. So we went to hardware store and I got some sheets of plywood. So as you can see, this is kind of the situation up here. There's a bunch of wires and stuff for like Ethernet and stuff from the previous people that were in here. We got a hot water heater over there that's freaking leaking with a new one that the landlord's currently replacing. But it's just a kind of a huge mess up here. All right, guys, so I don't know.
Prepare to be amazed. I got allergies going on, bud.
Oh, you don't have the...
No, I just got allergies.
Well, that's it. All right, guys, so prepare to be amazed. Freaking River.
What's going on?
He's been killing it over here. So literally, we were not gonna clean this yesterday. Like, I mean, maybe clean it up a little bit. But then River was like, "Oh, what are we doing with these wheels and tires?" So we got rid of all the F250 wheels and tires. We moved all the wheels and tires in crates and totes and stuff that were right here. We moved like the Supra, the Civic, all those over there. Moved the dirt bike over here. We got rid of those shelves. We cleaned up this cabinet right here, or actually River cleaned up the cabinet, putting some sponsor stickers and stuff on it over here, and found a cool place to hang the little Tecton banner. Yeah, cleaned up this whole area. We had a little shelf right here, had a bunch of stuff just kind of everywhere. And then actually if we go up here, this is kind of the main event up here. I got my little handle, but this is how you get up upstairs. So we went ahead and all this new plywood right here. This is the water line that goes to our little basically the hose for outside. We're going to change that over the next couple days when the landlord comes over here. But yeah, so we got it all figured out up here a lot better. Have a bunch of 240 parts, DA fenders, some I don't know, tons of 240 stuff over here. Basically that's like a whole S14 interior, or at least a lot of it, and then put these shelves and stuff right here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
DA Integra parts.
If anybody needs DA Integra parts, Ty's got some stuff. We got these things right here. Oh, if you need some DA JDM Integra headlights, hit Ty up. Yeah, so that's kind of our cleaning stuff. But man, freaking the dirt bike is barely in the way. We could honestly like put the dots in here now if we wanted. But again, I think. Oh, and we're also getting rid of the balancer too. So that's gonna happen tomorrow. So yeah, pretty much just cleaning. It's definitely nice. I know you guys have been wanting me to clean up stuff in here for a while, and I've been wanting to do it. We have some more stuff to throw away over there. But yeah, that C10's a bit, it's big. It's a lot bigger than, I mean, for a truck it's small, but compared to the Mustang it's big. Or I mean, I guess the Mustang's almost as big as it. But yeah, it's nice to clean this up. So I guess move that stuff tomorrow, and then we'll put the doors on the C10 and go over some more stuff on it. Hey guys, so doing a little bit of measuring over here on the C10. So from center of axle to center of axle on this, it's about 114 and a half, 115 inches basically on this truck. And the reason I'm getting that measurement is because we talked about swapping that Envoy frame underneath here. So I'm over here measuring the Envoy, and so this is the XUV, so it's the little bit longer one. This would be like if it was a Trailblazer, it would have a third row, but instead of a third row, it has like some crazy thing where the roof comes off and you can stand up like a fridge and everything folds down in the back. So it's kind of an interesting thing back there. But this one is about 128, 129. So we're looking about a 15-inch difference or 14-inch difference between them. So yeah, that's we would either have to shorten this frame right here, which I guess wouldn't necessarily be that big of a deal, or maybe it is. I don't know. I've never shortened a frame before, but maybe that could just be one of those things I could add to the the checklist of things that I've done before that I haven't done before. So yeah, one of the things about this whole setup right here is the stock ECU 05 doesn't have mass airflow sensor. You can't basically run any tables for boost. So if you guys didn't watch a couple videos ago, I actually pinned in ECU Master EMU Black, and we got it to run on that. I tried messing with the drive-by-wire, getting that to work, and I basically burned out the 5-volt in the ECU because I wired it backwards because I was going off a different diagram. I was kind of silly. I should have just probed all the wires and got all the voltages and stuff, and then I would have kind of knew where to start more so. But anyhow, it still runs the truck because there's not any 5-volt reference coming off the ECU. But yeah, that definitely kind of sucks. So the other bad thing about this truck is it actually has a really bad blown head gasket that we've basically determined. Just cranking this thing over, this little coolant overflow right here, it looks like a little Whirlpool jet. So check this out. So, that is our dilemma with this specific engine right here, which it is a 05, and I guess if you the 05 bottom ends are better because they have like a counterbalance crank, whereas the 06 plus heads are a lot better because they have I think more aggressive camshafts and a higher flowing head just in general. But for now, I'm really kind of tired of starting this thing up and moving it around the shop because it doesn't start that easy, because we haven't really been able to dial in that many settings with the ECU Master. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the turbo off of this thing just to get it out of the way. We're going to throw the hood on it and basically back it out of the shop because, like I said, I am pretty tired of looking at it and moving it around and using the jump box because it's not charging the alternator. Then we're going to clean up the shop a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. So Ty and River have been cleaning up the shop over here while I've been messing with the doors. But yeah, basically degreased this, pressure washed it all out, squeegeed it. So now we're looking really good. I don't know what to do with all this space now. Actually, I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna put a bunch of freaking cars in here. But I don't know. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is actually get a new 2-post lift. Maybe get actually 2 of them and just put them side by side, so that way, like, let's say we're doing the frame swap on the C10 and the Envoy, literally we could lift them up and look at them, and we could say, oh, this is a good idea or a bad idea, and then just like set them right back down on it. You know, if we don't like that.
I was just thinking that we could have like 2 cars being worked on or swapped or whatever.
Yeah.
Not have to like take them up, move them down, and do 5-car shuffle.
Oh yeah, so like,
or like
you know, if we're in the middle of the Civic build or something, and then like we need to do a Mustang, you know, build or a maintenance build, or you know, do something like that. We need to check the freaking change oil on Jamie's car or something real quick. Like, you just pull that right here. The other thing that would be really cool, so as you guys know, I've had these kind of pallet racks for, I think that's been up there for like 3 or 4 years now, but that's a 240 up there. It's caged, doesn't have any diffs or anything really super heavy in it, so it's been on top for a while. I used to have the Civic right here, and when we pulled that down, so now this has been kind of sitting empty, kind of been a catch-all for a little while. But one of the things I really want to do is actually hook up or get one of those lifts where you could actually put 3 cars on it, and actually sell that S14. So like we could put like the Supra up there, and then we could put like the other Supra like in the middle, and then we could put the Civic on the bottom or something. So that way we have like 3 dope cars right here, but we could actually get to them, because that's one of the things about this, is to get that car up there we had to use the neighbor's forklift, and it's just kind of sketchy. And it's not like you put cars up there that are running and driving and that you actually want to use. It's like you put something up there that's literally just going to sit up there forever like it has. So it'd be nice to get rid of that and then have some more usable space. But yeah, I haven't showed you guys this yet, but we finished pressure washing off C10. So yeah, looking at this thing outside. Definitely like it a lot more with the green doors on it. So I do need to swap over the door handles and then some of the hinges stuff. And then these doors actually don't have glass in them either. But I might look into getting some new felt and some other stuff with that. Try to get these things to, you know, seal up a little bit better. But we also hooked up the tailgate, put the tailgate on it. It looks really cool. The wood in the bed honestly isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I think this is original wood. And then over here I went ahead and I wet sanded the door just a little bit right here, so you could actually kind of see there's like a little dent, but to try to get some of the green to come back out, just because there's so much primer right there. I just don't like that. I want to get some of the green back out of it, so I used a little bit of 400 grit and then a little bit of 1000 grit to kind of get a little bit of that that green to come back through. So I think I could actually get a lot of it to come out. One of the things though is like right here, like that's down to the bare metal, so then it'll kind of turn to rust or whatever, which is kind of okay on this style of build, but I'm just not sure how much of that I should actually sand yet. But yeah, got the inside all pressure washed out using the old Milwaukee tools, getting these hinges and everything swapped. But again, I do need to put in all the door handles and all that type of stuff so it actually closes and latches. But yeah, it's got a lot of room for activities in here. Engine bay is all pressure washed out. It's not the cleanest thing in the world because it still has a little bit of dirt and stuff, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, probably pull it back in here in a second, now that it's kind of dried off a little bit out here in the sun. And then I don't know what else we're gonna do to it today other than get the latches to work. Guys, we got the truck pulled in. Went ahead and pulled off these small block headers. I think those are off of whatever small block they had in here. I guess when they took everything apart. But yeah, decided to throw a little seat in there. And then if you guys check out this in the front, so we need to discuss some options for an engine in this thing. So this is a 400 horsepower SR. If you guys didn't remember, I think it's probably 2017, we did a 2GZ swap in an S14 for a giveaway car, and this was the SR that was actually in that car before I pulled it out. So it's a good, strong, healthy SR. Has a Garrett GTX 2867 turbo, 1000cc injectors, AEM version 2, and was actually in that car that we did the giveaway on for, I think it was probably 6 or 10 years. It was in there for a really long time. It was a really, really early SR swap in the States. So yeah, super solid SR. We just kind of put it in here for the memes right now, just because I was sitting in here and I was looking at these like the factory mounts right there, and look how close that is. Like literally, you could almost put a bolt there. So it's just kind of sitting on the oil pan in the cross member. A rear sump engine is going to be kind of the option for dealing with this up front. So the thing, I guess the options, so is I want you guys to actually do an official vote. I'll have a little tally here at the end of the video, or a little thing up here on the card. There should be like a little bubble. You'll click on it, and then there will be a little poll option, so you should be able to select the option. So right here, in the last video, we talked about having the 4.8 LS. Underneath there, I have a two-wheel drive 4L80E. And then outside, we have the GMC Envoy, which is the 4.2 and a 4L60E rear-wheel drive. So just kind of weighing some options. I'm just trying to think of, I don't want to have a whole lot of money in this thing, or and you could get pretty expensive with things right away. So for a full front lowering kit, like a McGoffey's setup with the drop spindles and like an OEM disc brake setup, not a performance disc brake setup, just like a factory disc brakes setup off, I think it's a 79 plus, like Chevy truck. it's like $1,300 just for that. And then if you add in the rear, you do lowering stuff up there, I think it makes it about 15, but still drum brakes in the back. If you do a 4-link in the rear, I think it's around $1,500. And if you want to do a rack and pinion steering on the front of it, that's about, I think it's between $1,500 and $3,000. So just adds up really quickly. Whereas that Envoy outside, it has factory 4-link, it has factory disc brakes all the way around, it has a factory rack and pinion steering column. Because one of the things I notice about this is when you're steering it or turning into the shop, turning it around, literally it's like you have to whip the steering wheel around so many times to actually get the thing to turn. So if you want to do any sort of performance driving or anything like that, that's definitely out of the question. You have to convert it to like a rack and pinion or like a power brake setup with some arms and some different stuff. So again, that just gets expensive. We talked about how long the frames are, and I think I could cut down that other frame and make it work pretty simple. And I think, so the option would be, is if I stay with this frame, again, I'm gonna have to have a rear sump. They don't have a rear sump pan that came factory with the 4200s. And so if I did that frame swap, I would stay with the 4200. But then I have all those other, I guess kind of upgrades without having to spend money to go like aftermarket stuff to upgrade the factory stuff here. So that's kind of the option. Or if we do that, then we could do LS, or if we stick with the older frame or the stock frame, do the LS, because they make engine mounts that literally just bolt in, tranny cross member, all that type of stuff. But a lot of you guys said that you've seen the LSs in these things swapped over time and time again. The last LS swap I did was a really long time ago. It's probably 5 years ago in my S14. And I've really wanted to do a turbo, like junkyard, like sloppy mechanic style build. And this truck would be a really cool option for that. So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. Like I kind of want to put an LS in it and keep this frame and just do the upgrades that you typically do to these things. But again, at the same time, like it'd be kind of cool to do something a little bit different. I know a lot of people have swapped like Tahoe frames on here because I think it's about an inch longer, but they kind of play with the wheelbase and do a couple different things, or they just have it a little bit longer and kind of split the difference between the wheel wells. So yeah, people have done Tahoes. Again, you just get all, kind of the factory style 4-link in the rear. You get OEM disc brakes. You get the rack and pinion. They're just going to drive like a complete, like a new vehicle versus an old farm truck. So again, I think that's kind of the point of like the Patina style builds and the rat rod thing, is kind of have them drive cool or drive nice but look old. And I think that the best budget option would probably be doing the Envoy thing. And it would give me something to do for a little while, not like I don't have anything else to do, but I think that would be kind of cool. So let me know what you guys think. I really like this thing now that it actually has the doors on it. Once I sand a little bit more of that kind of primer away, we'll get some more of that green to show back through. And I think I'm going to be really happy with the way that this truck looks. And if you guys seen that rendering that I posted on Instagram, I'll put it up here right now. And I'll link the guy that actually made it. He just kind of photoshopped it real quick. I think it looks super sick. It gives me some motivation to like slam this thing like all the way down to the ground. Maybe put it on airbags or something. But yeah, lots of different options. If this, the SR could be an option too. So we'll put that in the poll just for the memes. But it would be kind of funny to do kind of like a tuner style build with like an SR and a bride seat and like some T37s or something. Like that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I guess we'll see you later.